got it.
My freedoms.
I love how it says got it. It's like, I got it, bro.
Got it.
All right. So, having completed a little bit more of this dungeon, you guys have been making your way through. You have been sort of garnering a few clues as to what exactly might be in this dragon egg. But for now, we're unsure. And with that, it has been said since the dawn of the Third Age, the mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. What matter where, if I still be the same, and what I should be all but less than he. Whom thunder bath make greater, here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built here for his envy, will not drive us hence. Here we may reign secure, and in my choice, to reign is worth ambition, though in hell, better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven.
So true.
That was fucking rad, dude.
Yeah.
The parts I understood, dope as hell.
You find yourselves in the outer corridor of the right side of this dungeon, delving deeper into this hellish landscape. What would you like to do?
I have just snipped the wires on the lightning trap. So I'm put away my thieves' tools very quickly and all in a day's work. All right, if we could not spend every waking second in this decrepit place, I would appreciate that. So if we could keep moving.
Can you show us on the map real quick where we're at? I'm sorry.
You
If
good?
it's a big circle, like if it's a clock face, we're at like the 3 o'clock, right?
Yes,
Yep.
3 o'clock.
If you can see that circle.
That square building with the single circle on it.
Correct. We just
we
left
the
that to
outside
the
of
outer
that.
ring. Yeah.
Okay.
You're like stepping into that outer ring now.
The northeast corner is the egg. I'm a bit singed, so perhaps I should not lead.
Talon will lead. I'm gonna stealth forward. I guess. Do we see any kobold or anything?
Not in this corridor, though I will say as you start making your way in, you start to see a great deal more of this like religious iconography that you've been seeing sort of painted and carved all throughout this outer ring of the dungeon. And here in particular, it seems to be all centralized around a single point of golden light. It almost looks to be a representation of the sun, but descending down onto a plane. And surrounding are all these like green landscapes and trees of odd origin. Definitely, Talum, you would never have even heard of a place like this, lush and green and beautiful. And this light descending down into it seems to be giving off this energy, this like waves. And these waves, as they descend further away from the central light, begin forming and morphing. And it's like pieces of the circles will pinch off and form shapes. And you can see as you go further, these shapes form. And it's like this weird decentralization of the energy into the form of several dragons. It almost looks like this is representation of what originally spawned dragons into being. Some sort of holy religious event for these people, or at least for what these people used to believe in some time ago.
I'm gonna stay on Talon 6 real close, especially if he's gonna stealth. I'm gonna put my hand on his back and I'm gonna stealth right behind him.
Is the stuff we see on the walls particularly?
Yeah, it's carved and drawn.
Okay.
And
I kind of look back at everyone else and just kind of like give him one of these as I kind of like walk sideways up the corridor, I guess.
I'm like sort of like walking and I'm following it like I'm at like an aquarium or something. I'm just like staring at the walls as I follow it, sprawling all out here.
Go ahead and roll a perception check as you look it over.
To be clear, these kobold are not our enemy right now, right? At least as far as we can tell. Like, because we talked to one of the priests and he told us we could go in.
Yeah, I did facial surgery to a person, and
Right. That's right. Yeah.
would investigation work as well, or is this explicitly perception?
This is a perception.
Okay,
You're trying
then
to garner something.
19. I wasn't trying to. Don't
Very
know why I
nice.
need to be precise, but
So looking through, you start to notice symbols here and there in ancient Draconic that you can start to piece together. And it's almost like hidden in some of these like symbols, this like weird formation where it's like partially a dragon, but deep down you see that it's still representative of certain words. You aren't able to piece it together just by first glance, but if you'd like to, you could spend some time like actually investigating and trying to put together what exactly this says.
yeah, I'm going to absolutely just get preoccupied, not acknowledge that I'm getting away from the group, and this thing has really taken over my attention. As a knower of weird languages, especially Draconic, I'm immediately just like, I'm gonna spend all the time it takes to piece this thing together.
Yeah, and it's a really weird experience for you due to your current state of amnesia. The like reading of this spawns something inside of you. You know, like it's like you can look at it and know what it says, but you can't really explain how you know it or why it makes sense to you. Especially this sort of form of ancient Draconic. You're sort of surprised even in yourself that you know what this means. But go ahead and roll me an investigation check as you spend a couple of minutes mulling it over. Are the rest of you guys staying with him, watching him over as he does this?
I'm following the lead.
Yeah, like, do we have, like, any reason to be alert? Like, I think naturally I would just be standing there with my bow at the ready.
I mean, no reason out of the fact that you're in this spooky dungeon. Tony, can you turn yourself down a little bit on the mic? I don't know if it's possible, but you're pretty loud.
I think I'll just like go down the corridor till the next doorway.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna open it until everybody's like stacked up. And I'll try to like listen or see if I can hear anything.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
16.
16. You do indeed hear voices from behind the door, speaking what sounds like Draconic, but I don't believe, speak it correct.
I'm kind of like a dog when he just like hears a sound on the other side of the door, just kind of staring at it. There are more on the other side. We should wait for. What is he doing? Can I look back at Siegfried? Right? No. Yes. Yeah.
I got a piece of parchment up against the wall, and I'm like tracing it.
What'd you roll for that investigation there, Garrick?
21.
Ooh, very nice. Wow. Yeah, after spotting these little symbols just by a cursory glance, you are enthralled in it. And it's this weird, it almost has elements of a cipher where you're taking a piece from here and like fitting it in to this globalized word. And eventually you figure out that since it is this radial sort of image, you actually have to read it from around inward. It spirals the words as you read them. And it's roughly translates to a light from heaven, a light from hell, two parts split and recombined in Draconic nature, chromatic and metallic, one part evil, one part good, both embodied in a single. Make of that what you will.
Yeah, could you like send that in the chat, perhaps?
Yes, let's see.
Perfect. By the way, as soon as Siegfried realizes this is a cipher, now it's not even intentional. The whole world shuts out around him, and he begins writing furiously as linguistics is sort of he just really digs that, real into languages and shit.
All right. Anyway, so as you are reading this, the rest of you are investigating. Are you just still? I mean, this takes him several minutes. Are you just sitting and staring at the door the whole time?
I would just look around just to see if anything piques my interest. I don't speak Draconic, so it's not really important to me, but I always like to learn what I can. So I'm just glancing around.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check as well.
Hey, hey.
Did you send that in the chat?
I will, but
Sorry.
I don't have it typed out directly, so I need to.
10.
Okay, 10. You don't discern quite so deeply as your ally here, but looking around, it's definitely some sort of religious iconography. It spawns certain I guess certain opinions in you about what type of religion this is. It's weird to see a religion that seems to directly symbolize like the spawning of evil and good in a single image, which you kind of find interesting as sort of a parallel to some of the stuff that you might be more familiar with.
I'm going to investigate the writing itself. Being a calligrapher and interested in those kind of writings and really the more artistic type of writing, I'm just going to look at the way it was written.
I mean, yeah, looking at the way it was written, it's really hard to see. Like, you're amazed that your friend was able to like piece out these individual characters. It fits so naturally and like flows so perfectly with the overall picture. But as far as actually like how it was drawn and written, it looks like it was probably like carved into the wall with some sort of like large stenciling tool a long time ago.
I'm just going to kind of look and more kind of feel and use my feel to help me kind of augment to see better, if that makes any sense. And I'm just going to kind of admire the work and wonderment on how it was created, and just kind of stick that feather in my cap.
Okay.
As you're like looking for it and like trying to feel around for it, I'm like sitting on the ground and I like tap where it is and help you out for a second, and I go back to my work.
Nice.
I'll like wait patiently for a minute and then I'll be like, Siegfried. Siegfried. Can I find like a pebble or a rock or something to like, just like a piece of like debris, just small enough to fit in your palm and chuck it at him?
Sure. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I do that. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to like try to hurt him with it. Just like hit him in the head with it.
It's like, I'm like, what?
We are waiting. There are more kobolds here. I cannot speak to them. Not the way you want me to. I like hold my axe up.
No, Scheiße. Yes, one moment. I'll get this finished. And I want to just like figure it all out. Yeah. Do any of you know about dragons? Or whatever religion this is?
I have no familiarity with the religion itself, but it is quite a unique seeming take on good and evil based on my scholarly pursuits.
Yeah, I'll say that you had originally believed this to be a temple to the Platinum Dragon Bahamut, but upon revisiting this particular iconography, it looks to be more generalized than that. Perhaps worshiping dragon kind in general. And with this specific writing, I mean, if you're detailing this to the party, Siegfried, you guys believe this is probably sort of an homage to Tiamat and Bahamut in their original joined state of some kind upon their coming to the material plane. But it's not something any of you know a lot about, for sure.
Sort of to give my overall thoughts about it, I'll go. It's all rather silly when you think about it. They are saying that one kind is wholly good and the other is wholly bad.
Well, this is a sentiment reflected throughout many cultures. It's just strange to me that seemingly it's not a worship to either good or bad, but a worship to both in their combinations.
It is not the worship I speak of, it's the belief. He says it here in the writing. He says good and evil, metallic and chromatic.
Well,
It's
such divides have been present in religion uh, over the centuries. I mean, it's a common concept to be sure.
is
Yeah,
it?
Father T, go ahead and roll me a religion check just to see if you can cap off this knowledge a little bit.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Natural 20.
I know my religion.
You've met Bahamut.
In that case, I would say that you have a deep understanding of certain truths about ancient religion specifically. And the concepts of good and evil are not necessarily applied to dragonkind, but are derived from them. So it is not so much that metallic dragons are good, it is that metallic dragons make the thing that is good. And from them, the idea of goodness has sort of, come down the aeons through the ages. And the same is true in a converse sense with chromatic dragons. So good and evil are less subjective in this case and more of a description of their nature.
Yes, it's as I was saying. Many believe that such dragons as are depicted here actually inspired the objectivity of good and evil in later cultures. Some believe that good and evil are actually a force of nature itself, embodied by dragons, if I'm understanding correctly.
Perhaps I have a theory about what this is all about. You see, this whole wall, it is dedicated to the thoughts of this good and evil splitting apart. Perhaps from their view, the good now is the dragon kind, and the evil is the rest of us. Perhaps they're operating on some inverse of whatever this is, as it looks as though they want to combine the two together. And from that, we can see here that from that one, it split into two. There are some parallels.
Yeah, you definitely think you're onto something with this idea of trying to recombine
God,
the
I'm
natures.
so fucking smart, dude. Oh my god.
there is only one egg. There are not two. Perhaps they made it already. Perhaps.
Telum, do you know how babies are made?
Talum, like if Talum could blush, like he would. His hair kind of stands up. And
Yeah.
I'm no longer stealthing as he stands up. Talum knows very well how children are made.
Okay.
Better than most here.
Okay, right. Yeah. So two things come together to become another whole thing, right?
Are you suggesting dragons mated down here? And the egg we seek is that offspring? I look at Gold. Is this the word? The baby.
I'm kind of like a little weirded out by the conversation. But like when he asked me that question, I was like,
Statistically speaking, it's probably quite likely two dragons mated to make an egg.
No. I have another theory about what this whole temple is for. Throughout probably magical means and not as Gold so delicately put it, they put together that of a human and that of a dragon and reform it to be closer to
I like walk off.
to be
Can
closer
this
to
be
whatever
done?
entity spawned the dragons in the first place. I am far too interested to wait around any longer.
Yeah.
Taylor
Just-
wants to know more.
To clarify, the religious iconography looks to be from an older time. And what they're doing now seems to be some sort of bastardization of the original purpose of this
Love that.
temple.
It's such things often occur as time goes on. Meanings originally known are lost and reinterpreted, and as such, we get separate sects of belief.
Are you a religious man?
I tend to be in ways. I
Why
can
did it take
certainly.
you so long to answer that question?
It's a complicated question. I mean, I don't think it's possible to not to not acknowledge the existence of deities in past ages. But in their current state, um, deities are of very little use to us, if that makes sense.
I agree wholeheartedly. It doesn't matter whether they exist or not. Does not affect me.
Well, that's not quite where I was going with it, but to each his own.
No, I disagree.
He's like, no, hold on. That's the opposite of what I'm trying to say. Oh, you love to see it. All right. Anyway,
Well, you were just talking about religious reinterpretation and how we can get it wrong. I provide an example for it.
Religion is something of a fancy for me.
And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna like grab Taylor, like, come on. It's the next
I'm at
room.
the
We're
door.
getting
I'm
close.
like at the door.
you're opening it?
We'll go in.
You're doing the speaking, no? I like start pushing I look at the hinges to make sure it's a push door before I push. And
You
I'm
know,
gonna be back to Talum 6, kind of Navy SEAL like, just I like tap you on the shoulder, put my hand on your back, and I'm like ready to follow you in. Hand on my sword, ready to go.
you people I'm surprised you don't understand. Language is not that complicated. Why have you not picked up the conic already? I've spoken it several times in front of your head. I almost picked up what the goal is speaking about. Not quite yet, but I'm there. And then I'm like ready to open the door.
I'm gonna whisper at Talum. He talks too much.
Taylor just kind of like nod. Open. I'm gonna push the door open.
Okay. Easy enough to do. The door flies open pretty easily. It seems a lot lighter than a lot of the other stone doors in this area, perhaps more newly created, hard to say. And you see on the inside a sight that shocks you pretty much immediately. You see what looks to be one of these kobold scale beards laying down on some sort of potentially a medical table, sort of brought up, its arms above its head, almost in a position of a rack. And you see two what look to be wizards, both also kobold scale beards, standing on either side of it, both holding these purple orbs that seem to be channeling energy into what looks to be the visage of a dragon, hovering next to either of them, channeling some sort of energy into the kobold that is currently being, strung up on this rack. And you see as the energy coalesces into him, he goes from sort of your average lanky, thin kobold, and his muscles start expanding, his scales tightening against him before some come popping out and breaking. You see this sort of like beard of scales slowly like curve in and like become this jawline that's exquisite and almost a sort of Greek god human form. And you see the two kobold wizards look something like these guys.
Nice.
And they form a creature that looks something like this.
That is a big
Wow.
kobold. That
It's
is a
called
big
a swobold.
swobold.
Dr. Erskine is one of them.
Nice.
And immediately they look over to you, startled by your presence, though not immediately hostile. Do you say anything, my good doctor?
I just like sort of like, uh, is everything all right in here? I say this in Draconic.
One of the wizards look over to you and just sort of unsure of who you are and what you're doing here, says, everything is fine. What are you doing?
You're pacing through your captain. I'm sorry, could I without asking what I can do, I'm gonna like walk over to the kobold and start just like giving him a quick look through, like seeing what has changed, and like I want to give this dude like a full examination here, just barging my way in.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
So when he does that, if they have his attention, or he has their attention rather, I'm going to examine the table that they're on and see if there's any type of herbal potion type of concoctions that I can swipe or look at.
Yeah, go ahead and roll I'll say investigation check to see if you can find anything.
I got an 11 on my medicine.
Okay, you approach this creature, whatever it may be. It was once a kobold, but you're not sure that title really fits any longer. And immediately it breaks out of the restraints holding it in place and just reaches out with a hand, trying to grab your throat.
I want to let out a shice, and then I'm gonna
Strength to strength, please.
strength. Can I use dexterity to try like instead, or is it just he's is it a?
He's literally grabbing you, so you don't have time to dodge or anything.
Right,
You're like inspecting him,
Right. So this is where the bad parts of old Dr. Siegfried come in. I got a 3 on that strength check.
Just immediately lifts you up by your throat, standing as he does. You see now he easily stands taller than you, probably taller than most of you. Maybe Talum's got him beat by just a half a head or so, but he lifts you off your feet and is just staring dead into your eyes. You see this sort of rapt concentration that it has on you. You're not really sure what to make of it. It doesn't look necessarily totally hostile, but just like it's like peering into your eyes, like checking to see if you're a threat. At the same time, what was your investigation there, Goal?
Well, I rolled 14.
Okay. Looking around the room, you do see a number of oddities, like small bowls with a little bit of like powder at the bottom of them and things. You aren't sure if they're all involved in this ritual or used for other medicinal purposes, but if you want to swipe one, I'd say you can.
I'm going to say that I'm looking at that stuff, and when this happens, I'm going to rush over. And at the last second, I'm going to decide against grabbing his arm or attacking him. And I'm going to stand face to, if I can. I don't know how tall that kobold thing is. I'm 6'1".
It's like just taller than you.
I'm going to basically do the intimidation thing where I get right up to him, and I'm just going to stick my face right in his face and break the eye contact between him and the good doctor. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to see what he does.
Yeah, roll that intimidation check.
Not so good. That's a 3. I mirror you, doctor.
As he's holding me up, I'm slowly moving up my like journal, and I'm like, oh, and I'm just writing, taking notes as I'm looking at him.
How's my mic now?
I mean, I'm going to be like nose to nose with this guy, just staring at him, even though I'm not going to intimidate him with my roll.
Can I prepare an action? So if like they go fisticuffs, I just shoot the guy.
Absolutely, you can. You pull the bow out, get the arrow knocked and ready, and it doesn't even seem to notice Aiken in the back as it just meets your gaze, Goal, and it pushes its snout up into your face and just exhales this like steamed breath on you. You can smell the rancid grossness that is the insides of this amalgamation of a fucking creature. And with that, I need you all to roll initiative as the wizards step back and begin preparing spells as well. Tony, you can go ahead and fire off your first shot since you had that prepared.
Excellent. Oh my god. Okay. Wait, yes, I still roll. That's a silly question. I got an 11 for the to hit.
An 11 will not hit, unfortunately. The natural hide of this newly invigorated species seems quite difficult to cut through.
And I got a
Alright.
nat 1 for my initiative, so these dice are gonna go in the trash.
All right, so I got a dirty 20 for goal, an 11 for Father T, 7 for the good doctor. I call him the good doctor from now on. I like that.
Isn't that like a TV show?
I don't know. It's like a thing people say, right? Okay. 18.
It is a TV show.
Okay, I got goal, Father T. Got the good doctor down. Aiken at a 1. That's 4 of you. Who am I missing?
I got a 7.
7. Okay. So goal, you are first up with your pretty immediate reaction as you see these wizards like gearing up, trying to get something ready to attack you.
So, question is a attempt to grapple an unarmed attack?
An attempt to grapple. In what context?
Well, I was thinking about punching him and then going for a grapple as my bonus action unarmed attack.
I have no idea. Does anyone know?
I think you can grapple in place of any attack. I
Okay.
believe. Garrick would know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Garrick will probably know. But for now, let's say you can.
Okay. All right. So he's gonna breathe out on me, and I'm gonna back up and kind of casually, and then I'm just gonna open fist or open hand. I'm just gonna pound him right on the end of his nose, which I know will hurt like a mother, even if it doesn't do a lot of damage. And that is a 14 to hit.
14 is the armor class of this creature, so unfortunately not able to land.
Well,
Okay. So I'm going to slip off of his slimy nose a little bit when I try to hit him. And I'm going to dive in. I'm going to go one hand over his neck. And I'm going to try to get my head and my arm under his arm and basically form an arm triangle, choke on him as a grapple.
Yes, sir. I got a dirty 20 on my strength check.
Oh, shit. I got a natural 1.
ooh,
You try and like grab out towards him, and he just like sort of haphazardly elbows you out of the way as if he just could care less about you being in his way. That is your action and bonus. Anything for movement? Or are you staying where you are?
No, I'm not going to stay where I'm at. I'm going to back up. Where are the wizards at?
They're sort of like backing into the corners of this room, trying to put space between themselves and, you know, the death machine that is your party.
I'm going to kind of be like, ugh. And then I'm gonna back away, but not towards a wizard.
Okay, easy enough to do. And the Swoble doesn't even react. He doesn't try. Like, he seems like he could have an attack opportunity. He doesn't even try it. He is so honed in upon his prey. All right. In which case it is the wizard's turn. They are both going to immediately like hold their staff up, and you see this flame flicker out the top and like coalesce around them, forming this sort of mystical set of fire armor before them.
they each do that.
What's up?
Both of them do that. Both wizards.
Yes, both of them do that. So that is my wizard's turn. Father T.
Yes, I am going to cast Sacred Flame upon the wizard. One of them. I don't care which one.
Okay. Oh man,
I
that's
believe they
a
make-
horrible deck save. It's like 6.
Yeah, that won't pass. So I will cause them 8 points of radiant damage as their fire armor they just conjured in front of them. It almost looks like the spell completely reverses and heads back towards them, burning them before I seemingly lose hold on whatever I'm doing, and it expands back into its state they cast it in.
Is this fire damage?
Radiant.
Radiant damage. Okay. How much damage is that?
8 points of radiant damage.
8 points of radiant damage.
Do they have a concentration spell going on?
That is a good question. Is fire shield concentration? It is not. No.
Okay.
All right. So that's your action. Anything as a bonus there, Father T?
Nothing as a bonus action, but I'm going to use my movement to try and take some cover, like, behind the door. I'm just going to step slightly out of the room.
Yeah, easy enough to do. At which point it is my Swobold's turn, and he has the throat of the good doctor here grappled, and he's going to use Crush. Just try and crush him. And a grappled creature must make a strength saving throw.
Oh, also, by the way, so I had my headphones on when I was down. Yes, grapple replaces one of your attacks. You can use an
Yes.
attack to replace grapple. Anyways, strength saving throw, I got a 2.
Oof, that is not good.
My larynx.
So what I did was kosher then, or I would need to do it in reverse order.
No, you're good.
Grapple and then attack. Good. Okay.
That is 16 points of bludgeoning damage as he just closes your throat.
16.
Correct.
I fall limp
Rage
and
chokehold.
unconscious.
Shit.
I
Perfect.
go, and then I flop, and I look like I died because he's strangling me.
Indeed. It is now your turn.
My turn.
Yes.
Good death save right off the bat. No time
Yes,
to
sir.
waste. 17 though. That's pretty neat. Oh, never mind. Where is my steel defender though?
I presume that he was in your pack.
Okay. I don't think I ever specified, so I was wondering if it was like he was next to me or if I had to expel him. But that's fine because I can't give him orders anyway because I'm dead. That's my turn.
Very nice. At which point it is Talum's turn, and you see this creature literally just pick up Dr. Siegfried here and just choke him out instantly.
Can I, in my final moments of consciousness, I'm gonna like realize I'm in a lot of danger, and then as Goal's kind of like near me, I'm gonna like pat him on the shoulder, like you're my only hope, and then I die.
Yeah, I tried.
I think as soon as he picks him up and Goal kind of like jumps up there, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey," and then I'm gonna like walk over there and just kind of watch him choke him out, and then say, "You should not have hurt my friend." And I'm just gonna like enter a rage and just swing my axe at his arm as he's like holding Siegfried up. Dude.
Yeah, I'm off to a bad start too.
So you have to call it if you're rolling recklessly, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you want to make it to where you just always attack recklessly unless you say otherwise, which I'm fine with, but then you're really always going to be attacking recklessly unless you say otherwise.
I feel like I'm just gonna forget. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds cool. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm going to have advantage on you every turn, which is going to be awesome.
Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'm not gonna do that. But
Okay.
so I rolled a nat 1. Just
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, very nice. You run up, swing your axe down, and your poorly made, sort of self-shambled axe collides with this creature's back, and the blade just snaps off the top of the axe, doing no damage to him.
Oh no. So my axe is busted?
It's busted.
Oh.
It's either that or you give 2 negative death saves to your buddy here. So
Yeah.
Yeah, good start to
Okay.
the fight here, guys.
In that case, did we decide that grappling counts as a attack?
Yes. So, but it's a special case in that
Because he's a monk. Or whatever?
because he's a monk, he can do an unarmed attack as a bonus action, which is something that you cannot do.
Well, okay, I was wondering if, because I can do a berserker frenzy where like I just go into a frenzy and then my bonus actions can become an additional attack, basically.
In that case, yes, you could use that.
So I'm just gonna like when my axe breaks and Siegfried falls unconscious, I'm just gonna let out like the snarl roar and like saliva is gonna fly out of my mouth, and I am gonna like leap, like almost pounce onto him and try to just grapple him and like put him in a chokehold as well, and just kind of like grapple him.
But
If
you've
possible.
already used your bonus action this turn to rage, right?
Oh shit, that's right. Okay, touche. Yeah, I'll do that next turn.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm so bad at mechanics for barbarians. I'll get
No,
it.
you're all good. We're still learning here. So that was Talum. You're gonna stay right up in his face, I assume.
Yeah, definitely.
Aiken, your turn.
We were gonna have this cool movie moment, but I guess it'll have to happen a different way. So I take my war pick and I give it a kiss on the head and I run towards the Swobold, and I'm gonna toss it to Taylor in like this awesome sliding motion, and then in the same slide I'm gonna shoot at the wizards, or one of the two.
Nice.
Nice.
It's probably gonna be like,
Yeah, not gonna do anything. So I
I'll
rolled
be like, ah.
the total is 13.
13. Actually, on the wizard, it does. 13 just hits.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, mad respect for that. Cool. Okay. Anyways, I rolled a 2 on the damage, so 5 damage from a little shrinky dink arrow.
Every point counts, especially when things are not going off to the greatest start here, Aiken. Very nice. And I'll say it was your bonus action to kind of get that weapon lifted over to your buddy Taylor, at which point it brings up goal at the top.
When I withdraw, I'm going to pull my gem sword out, and I'm going to move it back in for an attack.
Good.
That is a 14, which I believe is just not enough to hit.
Yeah.
Correct. Once again, you just cannot pierce the hide of this creature. This sort of like unnatural ritual, whatever, seems to have toughened him up quite a bit. You have your bonus action.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a key point to do flurry of blows. So I'm gonna move in and I'm gonna slice with the sword and miss or block off armor. And with that slice, I'm gonna do a kind of a cross between an uppercut and a cross for 18 to hit on that.
That will hit. Finally, someone lands a blow on this guy.
Yeah. 3 points of damage no bonuses on that, right? Or do I get strength bonus?
I believe you get some sort of bonus on it. Garrick,
Or-
rules expert Garrick.
Sorry, what's happening?
On unarmed attacks for a monk, do I get any bonuses like my dex bonus or strength bonus?
I mean, yeah,
Or is it
you
just
use, you get your dex or strength because you're a monk. I'm assuming dex is better.
All right. So yeah, it is intentionally. So 6 points of damage on that one.
Yep.
And then so I'm gonna cross like that, and then I'm just gonna come back across and hammer fist him across the other side of his face. I'm gonna attempt to anyway. 15.
Yes, 15 just hits.
That's 7 points of damage.
Ooh, nice, yeah. Feeling good about finally landing a couple blows. He definitely like doesn't flinch very much when you punch him in the face, but it still feels good to actually have something land on this guy and at least do something.
Nice.
You do
So
see
I'm
some
like,
like blood come out of the corner of his mouth.
Boom, boom, and then I'm gonna just stand with my sword.
Nice. All right, so that was goal, which brings up the wizards once again. Let's see.
Can I say that I'll make enough room between me and the swivel so that anybody that's attacking with a distance attack or wants to move in has enough room to do so? I'm not like right in his face.
Sure. Yeah, easy enough to do. I think the first wizard is going to go ahead, and you see this like draconic head that it has summoned turn one way, and it sort of manipulates this orb in its hand, and you see the draconic visage open its jaws, and this like sort of purple flame shoots out towards Talum, and that is going to be 12 to hit Talum.
No.
The other one is going to say fuck that noise, and instead going to cast Hold Person on Goal, which is some kind of save. That is going to be a wisdom save for you, Goal.
Wisdom save. I rolled a 7 with my save.
Okay, so you are currently paralyzed.
Okay.
You can repeat the save at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
All right, got him paralyzed there. Wizards are feeling good. They're going to stay about where they are. Father T, that brings you up.
I'm gonna just lean in the door and point my staff towards the spot at the wall with the char mark from where the purple flame just missed. And char mark just sort of disappears as the flame gets pulled out of the wall and goes flying back at the wizards. And I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame again, but on the one who just cast Hold Person.
Oh, okay, yes. And that is another dex save for me, and that is even worse than last time. That's gonna be a 5.
Awesome. That is going to be 3 points of radiant damage, and he has to make a concentration save, I think, against 10, I want to say.
Yes, sir. 10 here. And he's actually going to fail. So that sucks. And Goal, you feel your like muscles tighten up as you like grip the blade. You see like your knuckles going white as you're held. And then you feel it like a wave of relief come over you as you have control of your body once again.
And then I duck back behind the door.
Okay.
I kind of center myself and just kind of shake off, kind of like Neo in the Matrix.
Nice. So that's Father T, which brings up my Swobold once again. He's just gonna turn towards Talum here and just open up with a big slam attack.
Is he still holding me?
No, he drops you. He doesn't give a shit about you.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to say I'm important enough to be held, of course.
See you later. That's 16 to hit you, Talum.
That is my armor class.
Oh, so he just brings this big right hook, and you kind of like lift up your arm to block it. Wow, we did that like in unison. That's quite nice.
You know me so
We're
well.
connected. Yeah. We're connected. We just gave each other.
So that is his action, and that's all he's got. So that brings up our unconscious friend, Dr. Siegfried, to go ahead and roll me a death save.
Just lying on the floor. I got 14. That's 2 successes.
Not bad. I can't feel too bad about that one.
When I opened the roll with this die tonight, I got a 19, and I was like, "This is the one," and I'm sticking with it. It's doing pretty good.
Not bad. All right, Talum, that brings you back up. Your friend seems kind of okay.
As I block that attack, I'm just gonna like dive in and try to like just tackle and grapple.
Tackle and grapple.
I don't know. What do I need to do for that? Like just strength, basically.
Yeah, athletics to athletics.
And you get advantage on athletics because you're raging.
That is an 8 for him. Yes, you have advantage.
21.
Okay, so you easily grab him and like bring him down to the ground here. The big tackle. Anything as a bonus action?
I don't know. Basically, I want to try to restrain him to let Goal get advantage on him, and I'm just gonna, as I like, kind of like grabbing him and shit, I'm like, kill him. I don't know what else I can do with the bonus action necessarily.
Well, are you gonna? I mean, you were gonna do something last turn. As
yeah,
bonus action.
I was gonna frenzy, but my axe is broken now, so like, I don't know.
You do have the war pick that was gifted to you.
Oh shit, that's right. Duh. Yeah. I'll definitely use the war pick if I can, even though I've got him grappled. Like, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, you could still.
Just like,
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Is that war pick piercing or bludgeoning damage, Hagen?
It should be piercing because like it's pointed.
Okay, good
But
to know.
it does have a hammer side, so I mean, to each their own.
I think what I'm gonna do is, as I've got him like kind of held, I'm just gonna try to like take the blade and just like shank him with it in the gut. Like I'm probably holding the weapon wrong, but I don't care. I'm just gonna stick him with the pointy end.
It is piercing. Okay, good to know. Go ahead and roll for that attack.
I don't know what its modifier is, but I rolled a 16.
It'll be strength based.
Okay, so 19.
Yeah, 19 definitely hits.
Okay. What else? What do I roll for damage? I don't know anything about
It's
it.
a D8
Okay,
plus strength.
nice. That's not bad. So it'll do nine damage, I guess. I rolled
9
a
points.
6 plus 3 strength.
Not too bad. He starts to,
It's
look
not
like he's progressively taking a bit of damage here. And you do have him grappled, which is convenient. So that's Talum's turn. Aiken, that brings you up.
I know I shot at the wizards. What are those bozos doing? Like, are they just chilling in the back, or?
I mean, last time one of them shot like this sort of like ethereal fire at Talum, and the other one held goal in place briefly before getting interrupted.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I'm gonna do know thy enemy this time.
Mhm.
Just insight versus their CR level +8.
On the wizard,
Yes, they're both very similar looking. Do they look like friends?
they're very similar looking.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just do the one I shot at.
Okay.
That is a insight 13 for the check.
13 is enough.
I believe it's the weak spot where it just gives me advantage on attacks on them.
Okay, easy enough.
Cool. On that same note, I would like to shoot for said weak spot.
Sure.
Come on, maybe. Okay, that's a little better. 24.
Oh yeah, 24 totally hits.
Cool. And the damage is, wow, look at that. Okay, 8 damage to the one that was previously damaged.
Yes. Okay, yeah, it's starting to look pretty rough. Just about bloodied at this point. Actually, it is just barely bloodied though.
Very nice.
So that's
Fine bloody.
Aiken, half HP.
Half.
Oh, okay.
Is there like, I mean, is there any cover here that I could be using for the
I mean,
wizards?
I mean, basically, you see Father T has just been like dipping out into the hallway, like getting out of the room. So you think that would be like the obvious choice for cover?
Is there like any furniture, any like the table that he was on?
Yeah, there's the table if you wanted to try and get creative with it, but there is a giant swole bowl right next to the table. So
Interesting. Is it a metal or wood table?
it looks to be wood.
I would like to flip the table on its side and then drag it as far off as I can to use it as cover
Okay.
for like the wizard attacks.
Come up and just get the table in front of you, trying to protect yourself. Yeah, I will say like it's not the tallest table in the world, so you'll definitely have to like be like crouched behind it
Yeah,
to get
sure.
cover. But you feel like you're decently covered.
Cool.
All right, goal back up at the top. You are luckily no longer held due to the kind spelling of your friend.
You muted. Dan, you're muted.
Still muted.
Okay. So I'm gonna move in, especially after I see Talum grab him and he's like, kill him. And I'm going to move in with a stab with my sword.
Okay,
Natural 20.
Oh,
that'll work.
if he dies, we each get 1 kill.
I rolled a 4 and a 2. So that's 6 plus 3 is 9 points of damage for the stab.
You should add your dex modifier twice.
Oh, I do add it twice? I thought it was just double dice.
Oh no, you're right. It is just double dice. Sorry, I was
Okay.
confused. What was going on? How much damage was it then? 9.
So 9 points of damage. And then I'm going to follow it up with a roundhouse kick, placing the heel of my foot right on his chin.
All right.
And that's a dirty 20.
Nice. Yeah, that's also going to hit. All of a sudden, Goal has
Epic,
figured it
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
6 points of
now.
damage.
6 points. Yeah. Okay. It's taken more damage in the last couple of attacks than has the whole rest of the fight. Not too bad at all. So that is Goal's action and bonus action, which brings us back to the Wizards. Shit, that scared the shit out of me. Okay, so Wizard number 1.
Those Taylor roaring.
Yeah, no kidding. I think Wizard number 1 is going to go ahead and just do a magic missile at he'll do it at 3rd level. 3rd level magic missile onto Taylum here.
There's no save for that, right? Like those just hit.
Just
right?
hits.
Yeah.
Unless you have a shield spell, which I don't think you got.
Nope. No, sir. No, sir.
That's going to be 10 points of force damage. So not halved, if I believe.
Yeah, correct. You're right. You're right. Since I'm grappling him, I just kind of get hit by these things. I'm like, what the? Just like confused, like what's
He's
hitting
like
me?
twirling purple things, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, firing at you.
Stop it! Like, don't know what that is. So
Okay, the other one is going to. I think the other one will go ahead and. Yeah, he's going to go back to his Breath of the Visage, hold up his Draconic Visage, and shoot it out, this time at Goal. And that is going to be fucking horrible, like an 8 to hit you, Goal.
No.
Yeah. So that is their turn, brings up Father T.
Yes, I'm gonna uncowl myself and showing my old face, I'm gonna walk into the room, stoop over and say, "Don't shoot! I'm just an old man." And I'm gonna go over to the doctor and I'm gonna medicine check him.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that medicine check.
And that's a 10 plus 3, 13.
Okay, so yeah, easy enough. You lean over and you see he's sort of on the way to recovery, it looked like, as it was, but you're able to kind of apply a little bit of your healing knowledge to help him the rest of the way over the threshold, and you see him wake up.
Great. Do I have much movement left at all? I have 30 feet to
Oh
start
yeah,
with.
I mean, the room's not very big.
Great, then I'm gonna go back into the hallway.
Okay.
Could
Later.
you like drag him with you? Not to take
Probably
your turn
not,
for
because that
you.
reduces my speed in half to
Um,
drag someone.
well, here, let me see.
Not to take your turn for you, but
The rule for like grappling is that it takes 2 times your movement to like move with
Yeah,
somebody.
correct. I think you would be able to get him out of the room.
Oh, great, then I'll take him out of the room with me. It's not pretty.
So how
But
many am
that
I
gets
just
the job done.
back up with 1 hit point?
1 hit point.
very door kicker-esque battle we have here. You know,
yeah.
Doing my part. That's all.
Okay, at which point it is my Swollbold's turn once again, and he is very frustrated about being grappled by this cat guy. Yeah, and I think he's just going to keep at it and just go for another slam attack at you. Ooh, that's really good. That's going to be like a 24 to hit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Handle it.
handle it.
Not the best damage roll. It's only 9 points of
So 5.
bludgeoning damage. Yeah, so 5. And that is the Swollbold's turn, bringing us back to Dr. Siegfried, now awoken in the hallway.
Shit. I'm gonna call out my prototype CT-7652 out of my bag, which will take an action. And I'm just gonna like lean on the outside of the wall, and I'm just gonna like point to him, and I go, "It's over around the corner here." And as that'll be my bonus action to tell him what to do. And then he's gonna come in with his fist, his rocket-propelled fist, spider legging into the room, and he's gonna search for the biggest guy in the room and punch him in the kneecap.
No, don't punch me in the kneecap.
Now, my bad. I was talking about the other guy, the Swobold. I'm gonna punch him in the kneecap. Or I'm gonna try. 11.
No, you are not going to punch him in the kneecap, but you are going to try, I suppose.
And then he will get into the fray with our boys here so that he can possibly use his reaction to impose disadvantage.
All right, very nice. Okay, that brings us back to Taylor.
I'll use the scythe upon him. Or the war pick, rather.
Yep.
Ooh, not as good. You said it was strength or
Strength, yeah.
okay, that's gonna be a measly 10.
10, unfortunately, not going to do it. Anything's a bonus action?
I don't know. Can I just? I probably can't restrain him any further than he's already restrained. Or
How
grappled,
is
rather.
how does grapple visually work? Like, is he holding on to him, or like what's
he's-
going on?
He's like got like one of his claws around the back of him. He's like bearing this war pick at him, trying to,
Gotcha.
wrestle him as best he can.
Yeah. I guess I always picture like restrained, like you've got him in some kind of hold, but that's like restrained. Grapple would be like you guys are like holding
Like
each other.
holding. Okay.
Yeah,
Because whenever I hear grapple, I think you're like bear
Yeah.
hugging him.
Yeah.
No, it's more like he's just got a hold of him, so that guy can't move, basically.
Gotcha. In that case, yeah, I'm just gonna hold him there. I'm just gonna hold him in place. Unless I can maneuver in such a way to put his body between me and the wizards. Would be my only other thought.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you're able to,
Just kinda
kind
like,
of pull him and
just
rotate him
yeah.
around a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll end Talem's turn, bringing us to Aiken.
Forgot about the mute. Yes. How far is the Swobold from me now with like this table being moved?
Probably pretty close, maybe 10 feet away.
Okay. So he's grappled. Is it possible to get some rope around him and try to like fully restrain him?
You could certainly try.
I would like to try.
Okay, roll athletics to athletics.
And this is action or
That would be
bonus?
an action
Or-
to do.
okay. Is it strength to strength?
Yeah, athletics check.
Oh, pain. I got 5.
Okay, you like start like wrapping one of his hands, and he just like tears and breaks the rope.
I need that rope.
I'll say now you have 40 feet of rope. As
Okay.
10 of it has
Excellent.
been-
Excellent.
I guess
That
you
works.
have 40 and 10. If you'd like to keep the 10.
So with my bonus action, I'll do a know thy enemy on the Swobold now.
Okay.
It's not that great. 11.
What do you need to beat A plus or
Yes. I'm not sure. Is it 11? Is that the
It is 11, yes.
we can have to beat it. So I might try again later.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, on that
Say
note,
re-roll.
a reroll.
No, you should look up the actual, but for now we'll
Yeah.
say you have to
Sure.
beat.
As well as I'll look to Taylor and I say, "You're using that weapon on the wrong side," and I hand him. I like toss him some pittance so he can, flip it to the hammer side and hammer some nails in. Anybody? Anyways, I use the rest of my movement to go back to the table.
Okay, easy enough to do. That brings us to goal.
I am going to move back in.
I just remembered. I messed this up. For every round that I see the creature in combat, I get a +1 bonus. So it's really like 13 right now.
In that case, you succeed.
Weak spot.
You got it.
Excellent.
Go with another nat 20. Are you
Dang.
kidding me?
No, no.
Like goal
I felt like I
found his
needed to
dice.
show you
Yeah.
because I was like, oh god, they're gonna think I'm making this shit
Like
up.
dance.
All right.
It's that
You
Florida luck, dude.
give him a nice stab through once again, feeling like you've found a weak point in the armor.
It's like a 1, 2 ones. Oh,
What?
oh!
All right.
Nice.
So that is 19 points of stabbing damage.
Before he does that, can I be like, goal? Quit fucking around.
Let me think here.
Well, he did not like that.
I'm stabbing because I don't want to hit my friend. So I'm gonna stab in with one hand, and then I'm just gonna follow it, boom, with a punch straight in. Well, I'm gonna attempt to anyway. 9.
9. You stab me. He's like, "Ugh." You try and punch out. He just reaches up and grabs your fist, like pushes it aside. He is not looking the greatest. It is my wizard's turn though, and I think the first wizard is going to go ahead and use his final second level spell for a hold person. This time on Taylor.
Do I roll a save?
Wisdom save.
Okay. 4.
Okay, you are held there. And then the other one is just going to use a firebolt at you with advantage.
Very well, very well.
He's still probably going to miss. It's a 14.
That'll miss. That's
Okay.
a miss.
Understood. So that is my wizard's turn, bringing up Father T.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing they did the last time they hold person someone and just point exactly towards where they missed and sort of pull that spell out of the wall and throw it back at the one who held personed.
It's going to be an 11 on the dex. Assume not enough.
No, 13. So 1 point of damage. But more
Okay.
importantly, he has to roll a Constitution check, saving throw check. Question mark.
Yes. This time he's going to succeed.
So sad. I'll duck back into the hallway.
Okay. No problem. It is now my Swobold's turn, and he is quite frustrated. He's kind of concerned about this guy who keeps stabbing him, but he does see this paralyzed guy right next to him, and that's too good to pass up. He's going to go ahead and go for that attack on you.
I'm gonna use the robot to do disadvantage here.
Okay, so that cancels the
So
advantage.
cancel out the
making it
advantage.
just a base roll here, which is still quite nice. That's going to be 16 plus 4, an unnatural 20.
Adelaide.
Okay, so 8 plus 4, 12 points, have to 6 bludgeoning points.
Okay. I guess they just kind of take the hit without flinching or anything. Just kind
Very much. Yes, and it is now Dr. Siegfried's turn.
Can I make noises like maybe like?
You can speak faultingly, it says. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Wow.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking really rough, by the way.
Yeah, you're looking rough.
So is the Swobold, to be fair.
So here's the thing.
mean,
I
it's
just
cool, like
genuinely just tried to ask you if you looked rough, and the way I said it, I went, "You're looking rough," and I didn't mean to say it like that.
No,
Are you
I didn't-
actually
I
like?
didn't-
Are you very hurt?
I have 7 hit points.
Okay. If I didn't have 1 hit point,
I mean, is that metagaming? Should I just be like,
I don't know.
hear
You're
I
looking
think,
rough.
like-
You're looking
I
rough.
think it's fine.
yeah?
Huh. Okay. So I'm gonna peek in through the door, attach my dagger to my little propelling thing here, and just, and it like looks off target. I'm gonna whistle it a little bit to try to focus in on this guy. And I'm gonna try. Sorry, I'm attacking the guy that Taylum is with to hopefully prevent Taylum from dying. 16. Does that hit?
It does.
Perfect. Okay, so it is a dagger. However, that is going to be 7 points of slashing damage,
Gotcha.
and then I'm going to use my bonus action to tell the Lil Steel Defender to as well make his attack towards the guy that Taylum is with. And my Steel Defender rolled a natural 20.
Let's
He's
go.
an absolute boy. So he's gonna punch him in the stomach. It's 5, 6, 8 points of force damage.
8 points of force damage. How would you like to do this?
No.
As Taylum is like holding him,
Taylum is held paralyzed.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. I didn't know if he was still next to him though. Anyways, he's like you ever like squished like a pizza roll and all the
Oh.
inside spool out there. He's gonna punch him in the chest really hard and it like concaves through it, and the kobold just like vomits up his entrails.
Mm.
And I'm gonna like look, and they fall on the Steel Defender, and I'm like, gross. And then it's gonna like turn around, and he's gonna be like kind of happy. He's gonna wobble around, and then I'm gonna yell to everyone, good. That counts for one for me. I got that's me.
You just hear Taylor just kind of like, I'm still paralyzed, right? Yeah. Okay.
Is he around anything I can duck behind? Where's the
there's still the table that got flipped over by Aiken. That's
Okay.
A good spot to hide.
I'm gonna run in and I'm gonna fucking and I'm gonna slide and like hit it with my back, and I'm gonna be right. I'll be next to Taylum here.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Sounds good. Which does bring up Taylum. Go ahead and roll that save for me again. Wisdom save. Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a victory. I think it's a 7. Yeah.
Okay, so you're still paralyzed. Aiken.
Now that my know thy enemy is wasted,
Yep.
My bad.
you're good. It's all for a good cause. I think I'm just gonna take some pot shots at the gentle wizards over there.
Okay.
Are they like, how far are they? 10,
Um,
15 feet?
yeah,
or-
15, probably.
Cool. I'm gonna shoot him now. The total is 26.
It's gonna hit.
Excellent. Great news. 7 damage.
7
Two.
points.
I mean, I don't really have much else. Can't really do much more for a bonus.
And with that damage, he does drop his whole person, unfortunately. So, Taylum, you are able to move again.
Just move and look over at Siegfried. Damn you.
How far is Taylum?
From
Like,
you?
yes.
Not far at all, 5 feet away.
Can I do like the drag thing to the table?
Yeah, sure. You just kind of grab him, pull him in the table.
Indeed.
Who are you grabbing? What'd you grab?
You.
Oh, okay.
grabbing your person and my war pick, most importantly.
Gotcha. Right.
Nice. All right, Goal, back to you.
So, sorry, I'm trying to find a song for Steven. Somebody killed the Swobold?
Yeah, the Swobold's dead.
What happened?
The robot gut punched him.
Yep.
The robot killed Swobold?
Yeah,
Mhm.
dude.
Jesus. Okay, so he's gonna drop. What's the state of the wizards?
One looks pretty damaged. The other one looks like almost unhurt. He's slightly hurt, but not very much.
Does anybody buy one of the wizards, engage with them, or?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm facing the Swobold probably from his left. So I'm gonna turn, and the first wizard that I see as I turn to my left, which is probably the far one. I'm just gonna take out a star and chuck a throwing star at him.
All right.
It's not a natural 20. 14.
14 does hit.
Okay. So I'm going to use. Oh, I think that's way the kids say. So I'm going to use Kinsey shot to use my bonus action for an extra D4.
Okay.
So that is a total of 9 points of damage.
Okay, and 9 points of
That
damage.
wizard.
9 points of damage is enough as you throw it, sticks into the throat of this wizard. It gargles for a brief second before collapsing.
Okay. Rock on.
Nice. Anything as a bonus action? Or you use your bonus action to the Kensei shot. All right, perfect. So it is now the remaining wizard's turn, and he looks over to his dead ally here and to the dead Swobold and says in Draconic, shouting out to a man that he cannot see who once spoke to him in Draconic and says, "This was a good chance to test our new technology. Thank you."
I don't know what to say.
I'm going to turn and look at him, and I'm going to pull out another throwing star.
Well, that should be all.
Wait, what? What technology? What?
Like gestures to the Swobold dead there.
Yes?
I'll be going then.
I'm gonna look around to everybody else.
They can't understand what he's saying.
And I'm gonna go, which had I not almost been killed, maybe I would have had some, but I'm just gonna go. They're going to kill us all. They've promised only death and destruction to us. Kill them quick.
All right. In which case he looks like he nods like, okay, yeah, maybe he's telling his friends not to kill me. At which point, Father Teed, is your turn.
I can't let them kill us all. I'm just gonna pick up a rock and throw it at this guy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that attack.
This is 9.
9. Just whisks by his head and he looks confused. No, the fight is over.
I'm gonna duck back into the hallway.
And Dr. Siegfried, is your turn as he is now pretty much begging for his life.
Thank God you warned us, Dr. Siegfried.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hold up my dagger with one hand. I go, that is what I told them. And then I'm gonna go in common. I'm go, he's coming right for me, and I'm gonna chuck the dagger at him.
Okay.
14.
Yeah, 14 hits.
It's going to be a 6 damage.
Okay, 6 points.
I'll go. Steel defender, kill him! And then and he's as well going to punch this dude in the face.
Okay.
However, he rolled.
Gets 2 kills in this combat.
He rolled a
3
9.
Okay.
9 is not going to hit. The wizard dodges back, looking confused, scared now.
I whistle my dagger back into my hand. And I go. And I drop back behind the table because I'm scared.
Okay.
I don't want to die.
Talem, your turn. You finally have some agency once again.
I'm going to approach him with the war pick, and as I lift it up to hit him, I'm gonna flip it around so that the hammer side is facing him, and I'm just gonna try to hit him against the wall in the chest.
Okay.
He's up against the wall, right? He's back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. What's the modifier? Strength
Yes.
and proficiency.
Correct.
Okay, I don't think I've been adding proficiency all night.
We're pretty new to the game, so
I know.
yeah, it's understandable.
So 13.
13 just hits, yes.
Okay, good. It does 10 points of bludgeoning damage. It's a D8, right?
You are including your rage bonus, right?
No, I haven't been doing that either. God, I'm so bad at this game.
I believe that's a bonus 2 points of damage.
Yeah, so that'd be, what did I say? 12 points total.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, he's getting his ass kicked, that's for
No,
sure.
he's not dead.
No. That was Taylor making your turn.
I look to Dr. Siegfried right next to me and I say, do you think he knows anything? Can we get anything out of him?
I feel as if we know all we are going to find out. I have no further questions.
The sure of?
98.7%. Sure.
If you insist. And how bad is he looking?
Pretty bad.
I am going to. I gotta make it cool.
Oh no, he was trying to make it cool, but he froze instead.
I can't tell if he's messing with us or not.
Tony.
It gets cooler every second we have to wait.
Amazing.
Hello. Yes.
I'm gonna make it
yes,
cool.
I'm serious. Oh yes, I was lagging. Great internet. I'm gonna parkour over the table with one hand. I'm gonna start running towards him. I'm gonna make an arrow and pull it back, and I'm gonna combat slide like right under him and try to shoot him in the chest. I love this
Alright.
lag as well. We'll see if it even hits. Come on, baby. Okay. 22.
22 definitely hits.
That's some good damage. Good kill. Good info. 11 damage.
11 damage is enough as you slide underneath him and bury the arrow up into him. And he's like, looks around like this last moment of like confusion and sadness as he just like crumbles onto his knees and falls dead. Very nice. You guys have completed this this encounter here. Looking around the room, you do take note of just like the various medical supplies and random bits and pieces here and there. There is another door that continues on as well.
I'm going to shuffle into the room and pick up the broken half of Talum's axe.
Okay.
Talum, may I see the other piece?
It's like on the floor. I think I dropped it.
Oh, I pick up that half too, and I'll use the staff to just trace over exactly where the split is, and it'll just knit itself back together.
Very nice.
I look over at him doing this and I go, okay. And I sit and then I take my steel defender and I start doing the same thing to him with my tools and start patching him up.
Okay, easy enough to do.
Gonna collect all of my shot arrows. And there's one other thing that oh yes, I got a Talum as like, Father T's working on his stuff. I say.
I was like winding up for the kill as the arrow struck, and then I'm just kind of like, ugh.
Oh, this is like actually right after the kill. So like I shoot him and then I just stand up and I need that back.
I like pull the arrow out of it, and I pull the arrow out of him and bring you your sickle as well, the war pick. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. You can tell like the way you pull the arrow out like annoys Aiken a bit. Like he's very like particular about like how he's like recollecting his arrows, and like you like mess up the fletching a little bit, and Aiken like immediately goes about like fixing it.
And the pittance as I'm like fixing the arrow.
I like have all these weapons of yours. I don't even realize I somehow pocketed them.
Just to be as transparent as I can, I lied, and actually they were merely trying to test the kobold on us, and after it has died, they were no longer interested in combat. However, They have severely wounded us, and if they did not want to get involved in combat, they would have left it between us and the big boy, and they would not have cast the spells on you. So I had unintentionally spoke a mistruth in the moment. I apologize.
Insight check.
Roll an
Don't
insight check.
apologize to Talum. Apologize to them. I like gesture to the dead bodies, the dead residents.
And
10.
30-20.
Yeah, Dr. Siegfried is a weird guy. You know, he talks about things and you're like, all right, I guess that's fine. Like, you accidentally told us to kill him. Okay. I mean, it seems far-fetched, but maybe. He does seem confused about a lot of things and he doesn't seem to understand things very well.
I have never been that close to death. I got frazzled, and my larynx is in a lot of pain. So I ask for your forgiveness. And if you don't forgive me, yes, you do, because I know you all wanted to kill the kobolds in the first place. So
I did not want to kill the kobolds.
I was speaking of the one who did do the job. How many does that make now? What's your count?
0.
Talum has one. Only
Right,
one. He
see-
looks at you and the robot and Aiken and Goal.
It is all a game.
Death is no game.
I like to imagine this interaction is like from across the room, like with Father T.
And I am like
storm the
now,
doorway.
I'm now like getting a collection on my thoughts now, and I like, my heart has stopped beating super fast. I flip my strands of hair back into my face. Okay. You are not in the wrong for being upset. However, you shot at them with your magic as well, with the intent to kill. So,
Yes, when they were actively attempting to kill me or my allies.
I'm gonna walk over and put my hand on Siegfried's shoulder. Siegfried,
uh,
these men forfeit their lives when they picked you up by your throat. They were already dead. I'm gonna turn and walk towards the northern door. If there's another door in this room.
There is.
right. They were not friendly to us, nor was they willing to give up at any moment. So I did what I had to do, in my opinion. However, if I do it again next time, I will consult you all first. Is that a deal?
That's
I
a
just
deal.
I
gonna
say
walk
oh sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna walk up. That's a deal. And I'm gonna hand him a potion.
As he moves his hands towards me, I'll go, oh,
When he does
PTSD.
that, I'm gonna move slower. Try this on your larynx.
did you make this?
I did. Doesn't taste right. It works well.
I'm not one to accept drinks from strangers, but you all saved my life, so we're not quite strangers anymore. Bottoms up, and I'm gonna drink the potion.
Okay.
Potion of
Much.
healing, 2d4.
2d4
+2.
+2.
Uh,
4.
oh,
Another
Fa-
4.
Father T, are you returning the axe to Taylor?
I'll
I like forgot
carry it
about
across the room to Talum, and as I pass the doctor, I just stop for a second and I say, intentional wrongdoings often have unintentional consequences. And then I continue on and hand it over to Talum.
Yeah, you see Father T's like dragging this axe, like he's having a hard time with it.
Talum was surprised to see it intact. It's been with me a long time.
Well, if
Hold
it
up.
was once intact, it can be it is now intact as well.
Thank you.
I need a
Hey.
refill.
I think I have a bit of an issue with your philosophy. It was not done intentionally bad. In fact, I do not think it was bad at all.
It was bad. You intentionally led to the death of someone who was not interested any longer in causing such harm to us.
And what of the people whose whose Achilles tendons were severed when they no longer wish to fight? You raise no objection at that.
I
That-
did raise objection to that.
That is not how combat works.
Aiken is right. The only objection I have is the time we waste debating the lives of these idiots. I'm gonna push on the door.
Bah,
Yep.
time.
No one respects the fragility and delicacy of life, such as I.
You're speaking in riddles and like we're walking out.
I am a doctor. I witness death and I attempt to prevent it.
Not a poet. Like just further now.
Talem, you push the door open and you find what looks to be some sort of library. A lot of the books look old beyond repair. Many of them have like sort of a bit of mildew building up in them, especially in this proximity to the Underdark at this point. You see there's a lot of damage done. Some of the books look like they may be salvageable. You can read some of the titles, though a lot of them are in Draconic. Some of them are written in Common, and most of them seem to be religious texts, unsurprisingly.
I'm gonna make my rounds here to see if anything sticks out.
I'm just
Roll
gonna
investigation
go
check.
put myself by the next doorway and just listen to make sure nothing comes down the hall. And if something does, I'm gonna ambush it.
Yeah, it's not a doorway. It's just like an open hallway.
Right,
extending
right.
from here.
I'll just position like on the corner then.
Okay.
Fortunately, I
gonna-
only got a 7.
A 7? Yeah, I mean, a lot of these books are really heavily damaged, and honestly, most of them are not that interesting to you anyway. So you just kind of, go from one to another, and like some of them you'll pick up and they kind of like crumble in your hands a little bit. But anything that's surviving, it looks mostly like a collection of, religious songs and things that you have no interest in.
I'm also gonna look around, specifically for like books in common.
Okay.
Religion
go
is a passion hobby of mine.
roll another investigation.
20 through 22.
Okay. There is one book that's in reasonable condition, at least by the look of it. You haven't tried to grab it yet. And it is called Gods of the Pantheon. That sort of catches your interest.
I'm going to delicately grab it. And
Roll a dexterity check.
oh,
How large is this library?
You can see it on the map. It's a pretty small room, but it has maybe, or at least had when all the books were intact, probably 300 books, 200 books. So, pretty
I would
sizable
like-
library.
While he's doing that, could I look for something in like the ancient ways of archery or like bow mastery?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
7, unfortunately.
7. So you kind of like grab it, and to your dismay, you feel the binding of the book just come straight off, and you see like some of the pages like are falling onto the ground before you. Go ahead and roll another dexterity check. Is there anything in particular you're trying to save? Is like pages are falling to the ground around you, and like as they hit the ground, there's like a dampness that's like destroying things.
I'm like specifically like pie in the sky. I'm looking for anything that would be like this is how you trap a god, or like this is how you untrap a god, or like these are like Ragnarok events that would lead toward gods disappearing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a percentile die.
0, 0.
Wait, you rolled like a 100?
Like, both dice have zeros. Yes.
Amazing.
Neat.
Oh, of course you did. In that case, I will say that you are like scrambling, trying to grab for pages, and then one is about to hit the ground, and you scoop it up and look at it. And it appears to be some sort of illustration of the entrapment of a god of the past. In particular, as you sort of delve into it a little bit, this is actually discussing something known as the Pillars, which was some sort of ancient spire collection that was used as the formation of a gateway holding back quasi-divine beings called the Great Old Ones. It goes into pretty elaborate detail into the construction of these. They appear to be made by a collection of great sorcerers in the First Age, a long, long time ago, as a means to prevent the overflowing of these evil deities that once ruled the world coming back and reclaiming it. There are some addendum notes from later ages that seem to clarify that these were used again to both re-release and then reconfine these great old ones, as efforts were made by certain warlocks of ancient times at this point to revive this ancient religion and the darkness that came with it. Beyond that, there is some talk about how similar technologies have been employed in recent times. You're really surprised to find this because it looks like this was actually handwritten in the margins, like, not from the book's original printing by any stretch of the imagination. You see, like, it seems like someone at some point added new information on this topic and discussed how the Orb of Xenopus was used to actually dismantle and recreate what essentially became a divine prison where all of the gods were locked away, separated from the human world. And it was sort of this ancient triumph over what is essentially this divine magic. And it was sort of the final culmination, at least by the telling of these notes, of the power of arcane magic overcoming that of the divine. And it speaks to how this ancient artifact, the Orb of Xenopus, has these powers that are not rooted to any single material plane or any plane at all. And it speaks of like greater beings in contact with the orb, and those who use the orb were able to directly commune with some sort of ancient council. It doesn't go into great detail about this council, but it speaks that with the coordination of the orb and this council, they were able to entrap the gods. And it does very briefly mention the possibility of this being reverted. And it says that only with the power of the orb could it be done.
It's surprisingly specific and useful.
Yeah, sure is.
What was the title of this book again?
Gods of the
Or-
Pantheon.
Gods of the Pantheon. Okay. Can I try and use mending to just reinforce this page as much as possible to like where I could attempt to keep it and not worry about it disintegrating constantly?
Can you read me mending real quick?
I sure can.
I mean,
It might be yeah, I understand it might be a bit of a
this is more like
stretch
a
here.
preservation kind of thing.
Let me flip to the spell here. Mending spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch. So I'm guessing probably not.
No, I mean, I would say that you're able to kind of like recombine some of the edges that were breaking and like crumbling, but as far as actual preservation, you're going to have to find some other means of keeping it safe. For now, you can at least try and keep it in your notebook flat and in one piece, but outside of that, you don't have much capability, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I am definitely going to try and keep it as nice as possible.
Okay.
But that's it.
Very
Very
nice.
useful. This was a good choice.
Shockingly useful. Is Tony here? He was supposed to roll me an investigation check.
He put it in the chat. However,
Did he?
he's also
He put 21, didn't he?
21. All right, Tony, you rolled a 21 on your investigation.
Yes.
Okay. So looking around for anything that deals with ancient archery, there is one book. The title is written in common, but you can see that the text of the book appears to be written in Draconic. But the title says Ancient Duels Among the Elves, like duels among the elves.
And can I see it on the shelf? Like
Yes, it's like kind of half on its side. You see it like somewhat flipped open. You can see the writing in the inside. It looks relatively in decent shape.
Oh, okay. Then I will still like delicately grab it just in case, like,
Yeah, roll a dex check.
Oh, that was terrible. 5.
Okay, lifting it up, you try and be gentle with it, but pretty much immediately you feel something inside of the book move, and you kind of like panic, and you see 3 locusts fly out of it, seemingly having destroyed the vast majority of the interior of the book. There are a few pages that are salvageable, but you cannot read them since you do not speak Draconic, right?
How many pages?
So it looks like a handful, 7, 8 pages.
somebody who does read Draconic.
All handwritten Draconic.
I'm like looking at it. What does this say? I'm like holding it upside down.
What? You're talking to me?
Is there anyone? Do I know that it's in Draconic? Or because I don't,
You wouldn't know for sure, but just judging by where you are and the fact that everything else has been in Draconic, you got a good guess.
I'm gonna go up to Talem with these pages. See, Talem, can you read this? And I hand it to him like sideways.
Talem just kind of looks at the paper and then looks up at Aiken and then he just kind of like avoids the question. Shh, there could be someone coming.
I get that. But can you read it? I can't read it.
He kind of like looks at Talem or at Aiken kind of like quickly like, what does it matter whether Talem can read that or not? Who cares? You're not here for books.
I need to read it. And then I move to Father T. I say, Father T, you're wise.
1 second. I have stumbled upon quite the discovery here, and I must dissect it.
Well,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
but
real quick, can you read this?
I glance over at it briefly.
It's Draconic.
I cannot. No,
What
take that to someone else. I
What
can't
language
right
is
now.
it?
I don't know, and I don't have the energy right now to divert towards finding out, unfortunately. Now, if you could please leave me be for just a second.
I go to the doctor. I say,
I'm literally like looking at you like, you need someone to read that for you?
I'm not sure. Can you read it?
Yes, of course I can.
Oh, what language is this?
It looks to be Draconic as most things are here.
Interesting. Well, it said elves on it, so I wasn't sure. So I checked around for elves.
Would you like me
Anybody that
to?
spoke it.
Would you like me to look over it and Perhaps
you
even
would.
translate it for you.
Just the gist of it. You don't have to spend too much time on it.
All right. I'm gonna look over and I'm gonna give him the gist.
Okay. This is a recounting of a specific man. He appears to have been a dragonborn a long time ago, and he was like a arbiter of duels for elves. This dragonborn was like appointed into the position. It seemed to be like a quasi-religious position, where when people, had had enough of fighting and they decided that they were just going to kill each other, they would have these structured duels, and he presided over them. He appears to have been like somewhat a man of medicine. So like if one of them got hurt, he would like try and help them. Otherwise, he would just sort of make sure no rules were broken. And these were extremely structured duels where they would sort of split at a reasonable distance and take turns trying to shoot each other with bows and arrows. And it goes through a decent recountenance of the improvement on the technology of bow and arrow, as this became much more important to them to be able to hit the first shot so you don't get killed in these duels. And so it does give a little bit of background that may be of some interest to you, Aiken, into the structuring of elvish bows and how the technology was improved over the ages. In particular, it talks about using specific types of magical wood and how you can grow these trees to make superior bows.
Actually, I'm a woodcutter in my pastimes as well, so I'm gonna keep that memory in the noggin as well.
Okay.
And I say, and I'm writing everything down. I'm like, bundles, wood.
Yeah, you don't know where you'd be able to grow something like that now because it's very hard to grow anything. But if you could, maybe you could make these nice bows.
Very interesting.
And I'm gonna look up and attempt to have any semblance of like a connection with Aiken here and be like, hey, I like ranged weaponry because you can hit the enemies and they cannot hit you. So
Uh-huh. What's that guy's name?
the guy, which guy?
The one that like
Ah,
presided
the
over
Dragonborn, yes.
everything.
His name was Hemin Laleth.
Hemet Laleth. Interesting.
Yep.
Leave it to Logan to find a random book about archery, and it's just filled to the brim with
Make your own like,
thank you.
books. You could make the book of books.
Book of books.
A book of books. that
Oh,
your characters
that's
might run into.
crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
you should definitely make that.
The book of books.
But yeah,
Tables of random books you can find.
Yeah, but then they have like descriptions and stuff. I mean, that description right there for the archery thing is pretty unique. I would have been
But
like,
no.
you find a book that teaches you about archery, and it's pretty useful. That'd be it.
you learn to shoot farther and
Yeah.
faster. But sorry, I clear my throat so much. Very dry.
You're all good.
Thanks for translating. And yes, the bow as well. So I closed my little pocketbook.
If you would need any assistance in the future, do not hesitate to ask for my assistance. I am a doctor.
I guess you are. I like
A doctor
kind of-
by profession, a linguist by trade. So I have a lot of ground to cover.
Said you do stuff with wood. And then
I had a bit of an idea for a weapon. Made from wood, presumably. Modeling is a more advanced structure of a bow and arrow. I like the idea of launching a projectile, but I don't quite like the dexterity and the precision needed for it. So I thought perhaps channeling some sort of magical energy through a wooden barrel at very quick speeds. It's something that has been floating around my mind for a while.
I thought you understood it. And I like walk away.
What?
Are we in the library is that the same room that we busted into initially with the swobold?
No, different room.
Further north, it's circular with the
The-
bookshelves
the round
and
one?
Yeah,
Okay. So before I stepped upstairs for a second. So before we slide into the library, I want to say that I went over and retrieved my throwing star from the throat of one of the wizards. I'm going to stick my foot on his head and then pull it out of his throat. But I also want to check his body if nobody else did for like potions, basically anything.
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation check.
15.
15. They both have these sort of purple, they look to be carved staves. You're not sure what they do or if they're magical in any way, but that's a thing. And they both have these purple orbs that they seem to be able to control these illusory dragons with. And then besides that, they both have daggers and spellbooks.
No potions or chemicals of any type.
No, I mean, there's still the other like medical supplies in this room, like odd powders and things, but nothing on them specifically.
Okay. I'm interested in the purple staff. I'm going to take that. Is it how tall is it?
That's maybe 4 feet tall.
It's a shorter staff. Okay.
It's like kobold sized.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it and investigate it as we move to the next room, and I'm going to take any ingredients that I see or recognize so that I can work towards making more healing spell or healing potions.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
1.
Okay. Due to the subterranean nature of this place, none of these materials look at all familiar to you. You have no idea if they would be useful in making healing potions or not. You can take them anyway if you'd like to, but you don't know what they are.
Nah, I'm not going to guess.
Okay.
I'm just going to frustratingly kind of knock some stuff around. And I'm going to take that purple staff and kind of flip it around and do some stuff with it and see how well it's weighted. And...
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. It's, kind of an awkward shape and size for like using as a staff, but you don't think it's not the worst staff you ever held?
Is it just a symmetrical staff or does it have some on the end?
It looks like that.
Oh, okay. I'll look at it for a second and then I'll carry it to the next room and look at, I'll take it over to Father T and I'll show it to him. Is this of any use?
I perhaps the doctor would be more well able to answer your questions right now. Really, I cannot focus on anything else right now. I'm dissecting some text.
Right.
I appreciate that you brought it to me, though. Thank you.
I'm just gonna set it down right at his feet and walk away.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be like posted up on that corner, kind of like sitting on the wall, and Taylor's just gonna be like, have you ever been so tired that you just kind of zone out? You just kind of like stare for a minute. Like that's what Taylor's doing right now. He's pretty deep.
I completely forgot as I was defending my actions. Yeah, I'm also interested in the magic stuff that the kobold mages had. And so I wanna go and snag after I see that he took the one of the staves. I want to go and take the other wizard had a staff as well, correct?
Yep.
And those floating orb thingies.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the rest of those basically.
Okay. Yeah. You
we'll-
2 of these orbs.
We'll identify them later. Are they colored in any way as well as the staves? What?
Yeah, they're purple. The staff is also purple. You can see them both in the picture.
Okay.
No, I've closed the book, but you could see them in the picture back in the day.
Back in the day. Okay. Now I am ready to venture forth. Tilum, are you prepared to breach
Calum is always ready. Let us go. I'm gonna turn down the hall. I think I will stealth if I can into the next
Okay.
room.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh, very nice. It's like over 20. Okay. Oh yeah, it's like 24. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, very nice. You start sneaking up, and you see one of these kobold scale beards hunched over, working on something. You see he's got all these different satchels and pouches and sacks, a couple like bandoliers. You see all these different like tools and stuff just hanging off of him, bits of scrap and wire and cogs and twine. You see these like goggles that he's wearing. He's like adjusting as he's like looking at the different things that he's working on. And by the looks of things, it seems like he's setting a trap. He looks something like this guy.
Man after my own heart.
Super cool.
Got a huge backpack.
Yes,
Is he the only kobold in the room?
the only one that you see. Yep. Working on something.
I'm gonna like look to anyone behind me. I'm gonna be like,
I'm right behind you.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing. Stealthing.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
$15.
Okay. Yeah, you don't think that he notices you in any way. I'll say that as the two of you are just kind of observing, you see him connect what he's working on to a thin tripwire. He like starts like tying it and connecting it to various points in the entryway. It looks like it might be an explosive device of some kind.
is it between us and him where he's setting it up?
Yeah, he's setting it up like in the hallway that you're approaching.
We should kill him now.
Do it.
If I step out, will he see me basically?
You're not sure. I mean, you'd be walking straight at him, but
Yeah, I think I don't know how armed this trap is already. I don't want to trigger it if it looks like he's already set it. But if I see an opportunity to move on him, I pull out this dagger that has like a really wide blade, like just kind of short and wide, like a nail breaker thing. Well, I guess I wouldn't need it. Anyways,
I'm gonna
Short,
like grab you
flat.
by the shoulder before you start rushing towards him.
Wait. Let me.
We
So-
really should not be moving forward if we have not disarmed this device. We don't know what it is capable of.
And
I
I,
got. So is he facing us and setting up this tripwire?
it's sort of. I mean, he's like kind of like facing the side right now. He's like tying the wire up into a different
But the
spot.
wire is between him and us.
Yes. Go ahead and roll a
I'm
perception check.
where is the explosive device? Can we tell?
Yeah, it's like
8.
right, like just to the left of him right now. 8. Okay, no worries then.
Unless if I'm able to see the wire and kind of what he's working on, I want to throw a star at the wire to trip whatever he's got going on.
Okay, you throw it out the wire. Go ahead and roll for that attack.
Oh man.
Man, I was gonna
16.
do that.
16. It cuts the wire, and he immediately like looks around and looks down at the bomb. He just like flips back out of the way. You see, he just shoots, and shrapnel fires all throughout the corridor, a little bit towards you guys. But since you have some distance between you and it, you don't take any damage. It looks like he was able to avoid the brunt of the damage, but still he gets hit a little bit by it, and he starts like panicking and looking around towards you, and then just like turns and starts hightailing the other direction.
Like
I'm gonna after him.
when the explosion went off, I took Taylor and I like threw him behind us and I like put myself in front of him or put my back to the bomb. Yes.
Oh, okay, easy enough. You're going after him.
Yeah. I got to
Okay.
move at speed of 40, so I'm going to haul ass.
All right, you immediately start sprinting, and instantly you feel yourself touch another tripwire. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
24.
24. You step forward, and you just feel this like tug, and you are with the great control over your body that the years of your monk training has given you, you're able to like halt. You're like you're like 2 steps into a sprint and just dead stop before you pull the wire too much to activate the trap. And then you look forward and you start to see all of these little wires down the corridor leading to where he was. Looks like many traps designed and set by him in this corridor.
I'm gonna pull down my glasses and
I'm
large lenses that go out.
when I stop, I'm gonna hold my hands out. There's more. And I'm gonna start investigating all the different tripwires.
Okay. Do you move back and release the one that you have slightly taut on your leg?
If my leg is planted and it's taut on my leg and I can just stand there, no, I'm gonna stay where.
So you're holding your position. You're just like looking around. Go ahead and roll a perception check as you try and detail each of them.
7 again.
Yeah, you are not minded for this sort of thing, and you have no idea how all of these things are connected and what sort of mechanisms they might be working with. You just sort of like blankly look over your shoulders the rest of the party. You have no idea.
Cool.
I'm gonna, after I kind of told everybody to stop, I'm going to, whenever Dr. Siegfried calls my name, I'm gonna motion him to come up.
Take care of this. Don't move. And I'm gonna run up and like on my back, like crawl up onto this wire, and I'm gonna pull out, like, I got scalpels. I have like a handheld mirror like stuck in my mouth. I got the lenses stuck out, and I have like different clippers, and I'm ready. Whole bomb.
Your robot's just like holding random things.
Yeah,
for
he's
you.
holding a bunch of stuff for me on his arm. Okay. And I'm going to attempt to disarm this thing.
Okay, roll a thieves tools.
Can I have my little robot boy help me?
Yes.
Cool.
Are you proficient with thieves tools?
I am, yeah.
Then you may include your proficiency in this check.
Neat. Oh baby. 21.
Okay, so you look and you like follow the wire that's like taut around his ankle, and you like follow it up to the edge here, and you see where if it were to have been pulled just an inch or two further, it would have clicked over, and essentially from the side of this wall, a gate would have just slammed shut in front of you. You follow it up and take the wire, hold it taut, clip it. It falls in front of goal here, and you're able to like hold it taut and tie it to where it still maintains the tension on holding this gate back. But looking forward, you do see a number more traps. Roll a perception check to try and identify each of them.
I want my my little robot is kind of like the bomb squad robot, and like I'm intentionally gonna be like, you look for the the different parts here, since he is good at perception.
Okay.
So like that's kind of his thing, is he's supposed to look for shit, so I don't have to deal with it.
Sure.
He rolled a really well 20, also a 21.
Okay, 21. You see that there are still 3 distinct traps like on the way forward. From here, you can't identify what all of them do, but they all seem to be activated by tripwires, except for one where you see that there is a pressure plate that would have potentially been activated.
Are they able to be walked around if I were to guide people?
You think it's possible, it would require some mild acrobatics. I mean, there are some where you'd have to kind of step like over and under one at the same time.
Oh, that's a disaster. Right in the head.
Taylum would be squeezing pretty tight on some of them for sure.
Okay, I am going to attempt to disarm these.
Okay.
I will do as I will try to disarm as little as I can. Obviously not I'm just going to leave the pressure plate alone, because that one, like once pointed out, can be avoided. Yeah. So tripwires, exactly. I'm going to try to cut it so they are easily step overable. But if I have to do all of them, then do all of them, I will.
Okay, go ahead and roll for another thieves tool check on the second one.
That is going to be a 16.
Okay, 16, you move through and you see that this one sort of tangles around a couple of devices that look like they're electrically charged between them, so they would have like shocked you. But you were able to just sort of disconnect the two ends and you remove the device. So you think that one is no longer a threat. There is still one more tripwire that you think you need to probably get rid of if you want a safe journey through here.
I work in tandem with this little prototype I've made, as if I've programmed it for instances just like these. And I shake a bit and I mute my own shaking. Focus up, wipe the sweat. I get back in. I'm gonna do this last one too. I'm gonna attempt to disarm this last one as well.
Sure thing.
That is going to be another 16.
Okay, another 16. You feel this one is like connected to a strip on the wall, and you sort of peel it off, and you see behind it there is just this like nozzle essentially that looks like primed to release some sort of gas. So you're able to just sort of like tie off the end of that nozzle and connect it with one of your beakers, and just like you slowly pull it, and you see the gas like just collect in the beaker.
Sick. Do I get a bunch of poison gas in a jar then?
You could attempt to, extract it, but currently it is like plugging the hole. So you're not sure how that might play out. Up to you. I mean, if you want to try and do something like that.
Tap it on the bottom, and I'll just keep that there. Okay. Whew. There's a pressure plate right here.
Your little robot takes a piece of chalk and like details where it is.
Thank you, CT-7652. If you would like, CT-7652 would appreciate your thanks to him as well. Come. And I'm gonna sort of single file. I'm gonna direct them down this hallway. Me and my little prototype here.
Okay. Easy enough to do. The hallway quickly wraps around into a room with just a variety of mechanical supplies, clearly things that he has salvaged or collected that he is halfway through developing traps with. You can see all of them are connected to these weird devices, these intricate things that look like they either broke or maybe he isn't done with the actual project yet. It's hard to tell for each of them, but it definitely has that sort of weird tinker's workshop kind of thing, a little bit of mad scientist vibes going on with a few chemicals just sitting open.
As a mad scientist myself, is anything impressive here stick out to me? Anything that
roll an intelligence check.
Ooh, 11.
11. A lot of it is you would consider it junk. I mean, it's definitely not of the same quality as a lot of the stuff that you work with. It has a kind of a similar vibe to a lot of the stuff you were doing at the writers camp. But one thing in particular does catch your view. You see that one of these liquids is sort of this pale green color, and floating on top of it, you see this film of white. And you think that this must be some sort of accelerant. So, potentially you could light things on fire with it.
I'm gonna pick that up.
Okay, you pick it up without sloshing it too much, and you peel this white film off the top, and you're just left with this sort of muddy green looking liquid that you collect. And this is alchemist fire.
Ooh. I am not gonna put this in my bag of holding. I will keep this on my utility tool belt. Unsafe, okay. However,
I was gonna say that's
as I said, I'm a mad scientist myself. I can't be stopped.
Fair enough. You wrap it in some loose rubber. Maybe that'll help.
This is good. Okay. Is there anything of note anybody could see? Or shall we keep going?
I mean, there is a staircase as well. Sorry, I didn't quite get to that, but there's a spiral staircase that extends up.
Taylum, Steven, how many are you still at, like, not a lot of hit points?
Yeah, I still have 7 hit points. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Hey, is there something wrong with your shoulder? Come here, come here.
You see
And,
the fur is just like matted with blood.
I think I'm like wounded, but don't really know where. Like I don't really know. It just was a blur.
And I'm just gonna like take your arm and just like snap it in a bunch of different directions. And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on you to give you some hit points here. 9 hit points.
All right, you feel a lot better.
They looked a bit strange. Just wanted to make sure I went to top shape.
Just for clarification, which room on the map are we in right now?
So this stairway is the stairway in the far top right that leads into a circular room. So you're in
Okay.
the room next, like the little triangle room next to that kind of.
In the thick of it, man.
Okay.
The 2 large boxes and the 2 small boxes.
Yeah.
And so the last room with those 3 little offshoot rooms, did we go into those offshoot rooms or?
You're
We
coming from the south.
Yeah.
That was the one with the squares. Those are bookshelves. So that was the library room.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
There
we're
is
coming from-
also the pathway to the left.
Is that intact?
It looks like it's like a drop. You know, from here
Gotcha.
it's like a 10-foot drop down.
Okay, gotcha.
We're coming from the south, so we started on like the lower right hand of this map.
Well, you started far left of the map, went
Right.
down over through the Underdark a little bit.
Oh, we
up
went
and-
we went like down like counterclockwise.
Yep.
Okay, I thought we were going clockwise. I was very confused.
No.
But okay. I'm on top of it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna eye the stairs. You said there's spiral stairs. Does it look like there's any traps? I'm gonna like,
You roll a perception check.
yeah, I'm gonna be hesitant. I'm gonna, you know, that's not bad. 17.
17? No, it doesn't look like he has any set up this way.
What do you think? I look over to Siegfried. Looks good to me.
My prototype will make his way up first. That's all he is made for, is to set off traps before they hit me. Right, little buddy? And he sort of like just like sits there. Because he has an unfortunate existence. And I'm gonna send him up the staircase first. And I go, but you can follow behind him.
Okay. The staircase goes and goes and goes and goes and wraps around and wraps around. You start getting dizzy from how long you continue spiraling upward here until eventually you see it comes to just like an open room where you see this huge sort of like semicircular couch, and sitting in the center of it is a single egg that looks to be plated platinum. And looking up, you see that this room is actually exposed to the outside. It looks like it's like somewhere like on the side of the mountain that you came in from. And it has the light shining to where it is hitting the egg. It looks like they needed to keep it in sunlight, maybe to keep, you know, its gestation period going.
Is that what that semicircle is?
Yeah, that's the couch.
Oh, that's the couch.
So you can't see behind that, but you see an egg on top of it.
Any sign of the trapper guy?
Roll a perception check.
$14.
14. You notice a couple of the cushions are a bit out of place. And as you listen, you're pretty sure you hear breathing from behind the couch.
Caleb thinks our friend is still here. There. I'm gonna point to the couch.
How big
I'm
is
gonna move.
the
I'm gonna
egg?
move in.
The egg's about yay big.
Okay, so it's egg size. Big egg, but it's egg. Okay.
I'm gonna ignore the egg and I'm gonna move in towards the breathing that Talum pointed out.
Okay. Stepping around the side of the couch, you notice that these couple of cushions that are a little bit offset seem to be hiding some sort of device. You think it's probably connected to the egg in some way, potentially another trap that he set. But ignoring that, you walk around and you see him with his back to the couch, like looking over his shoulder.
I'm gonna unsheathe my sword and point it at him and move in on him.
He like stands up and like skitters back. What do you think you're doing? The egg's ours. I'm set to keep it safe. You won't be taking it.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
I'm gonna move in if he doesn't do much. I'm gonna move in and put my sword up against his chest.
You can kill me, but then you'll never get it. I have it hooked to blow. This whole mountain will go up.
I'll stand up straight, sheathe my sword.
That's what I thought.
Is he holding anything?
Not in his hands. I mean, he still has a variety of things all over him, but his hands are just, open.
If his hands are free, then I'm gonna grab him and grapple him.
He doesn't resist.
Okay. I'm gonna start in the front and then kind of move around to where I've got him in a rear chokehold.
He seems like annoyed, but doesn't really fight it. He says, I'm the only way you're getting that egg.
Doctor,
There's so many stairs. Yes, what? Oh, you found him.
indeed.
Other traps?
He claims there's traps and that the whole mountain will go up.
I know our work was not over yet, CT-7652.
I wouldn't touch it if I were you. I'm the only way you're getting that egg. You're gonna let me live.
He's
Understand?
bluffing. This
Are
one
we
would not
inside?
let the egg break. No,
I'm
not
gonna
up to
squeeze
the
him a little bit to make him realize that he's not in such a good position to negotiate.
It's connected to the magma. The whole mountain will explode.
Can I inside that?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
Has anyone else inside it or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Oh, natural one.
Natural one. You have no idea. You're like, what's magma?
Yeah. It's hard to read.
Galen thinks he
For you, at least.
There is no way he would risk this egg.
I'd rather it die than go with you.
Is that so?
But I'm willing to make a trade. You let me live. You understand?
These could be beneficial to us.
That is what you want to live and to leave here now.
I'm not going anywhere. You're going. Leaving.
With the egg, that is. I'm gonna walk towards the egg.
If I give you the egg, I lose my leverage. How do I know you'll keep up your end of the bargain?
You
guess
just
you
have to
don't.
have faith.
Nope. That's not how this is going to work.
Does the egg
Then
work?
how do you propose this works?
You leave. I rode the egg down the mountain to you.
Hmm.
Oh,
Rolling the
let's
egg
squeeze
seems
it some more.
dangerous.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm gonna squeeze him even tighter to where he starts feeling a little funny.
Blood choke.
oh,
It would help if you let me go to start our negotiation.
How can you ensure the safety of the egg were you to roll it down the mountain?
It would help if I could breathe.
Goal, having been very recently been choked, it is hard to talk. Ease up.
I'll let up a little bit.
At least one of you has some sense. He's like hoarse now from how constricted his airway had been. Now, listen. I will let you go down the mountain, and I will send the egg to you. I have no leverage otherwise. If I'm lying, you can come back and kill me. Take the egg.
Why would you let us walk away with the egg?
Because I'd stay alive.
And that's more important to you than the shag?
Well, the way I see it, if you kill me and destroy the egg, what's the difference?
A wise kobold. How can you ensure the safety of the egg rolling down the mountain?
Nothing breaks this. It's indestructible. But if you prefer, I could find some other way of getting it to you. A parachute, maybe.
If the egg is indestructible, then why do you say it will break if we attempt to remove it?
It won't break. It will melt down in the magma. As I said, the mountain would go up.
Doesn't seem very indestructible.
What do you propose, then?
Your terms seem fair to me. I'm just concerned for the safety of all involved. I cannot speak for the others, but you seem to present a fair bargain, and how can we expect to trust you if we do not? How can we expect you to trust us if we do not trust you? So my 2 cents are we take you up on this offer.
I have a regretful solution. The demiplane that exists inside of my magical satchel here will not be affected from any outside bumping. For example, falling down a mountain. If the egg were to go inside of it, it would survive being dropped down a mountain.
Could it breathe? He like shows like an almost like paternal level of care. Like he seems like concerned about the egg.
Did you create the egg?
Doesn't answer.
And I, as I sometimes have shown to a fault, I drop my guard and I like rush towards him in sort of an infatuated look. And I like grab onto his shoulders, and he's already got Goal hanging onto him, but I grab onto him and I go, "Did you possibly have any part in creating this? I need to know."
Yes, I may have. If you let me go, I can tell you more. He like looks over to Goal.
For the first time, Siegfried has some gusto, some confidence, some bass in his voice. He goes, "Goal, please unhand him if you do not mind."
I let go. I stand within striking distance.
This could not have been biological, could it?
There were components biologically given, and there were some of a more magical nature.
Is there some sort of formula or something? You have to tell me the exact process.
We made a bargain with one of the archmages. The scale beards were becoming a problem. You see, they have a certain. I'm sorry, not scalebeards. The raiders were becoming a problem. He's a scalebeard. Clarification. They have been trying to bring certain objects down to the ground, but they've been stolen by the scale. Not the raiders. Twice now. The raiders have been stealing them. The archmage wanted us to take care of them. And we knew of an old spell, a very old spell. With it, we would have a leader, a god to defeat them. Yeah, gestures to the egg.
What are your qualifications for a god?
Any being of the essence of a platinum dragon holds with it a certain esteem, divinity, perhaps not wholly divine, but spawned from purity, from beyond. It sounds to you like you might be some sort of like demigod or at least like an angelic being to them.
So these supplies, these items that were being stolen, they are what you put together to make this alongside the spell, or
No, the archmage, he provided the components necessary, along with what was stored here in the heart of the mountain.
is there any trace of this spell?
Of course, but it is not given lightly.
What is the price?
We keep the egg.
I'm gonna stand up.
Seems fair to me.
I'm gonna turn around. Perhaps we rethink this whole ordeal.
Your riders, yes.
For once, I am in agreement with the doctor.
We are riders only by coincidence.
Association.
Yes, not allied strongly.
They're
Am I
working
right
with the
to
raiders, yes.
Am I right to assume that? I actually don't know for all of you.
The Dragon Tooth Raiders, they're working with them, yes. That's who sent you.
Oh, those raiders. Well, we're not here. We're here on behalf of them, but very, very loosely.
Yes, but the riders, they made a bargain with them, yes.
Exactly.
We cannot let the raiders get this egg. It would mean destruction of my people.
And would your keeping of this egg mean destruction for the raiders?
That was the initial plan, but there can be discussions. The Archmage will not be happy if they continue their theft, though. He has someone working here on the ground, someone who he's sending these things to.
Who? And who is this Archmage? What's his name?
I do not know who he's sending it to. The Archmage, he will not tell me his true name, but he rules one of the cities. He is on the council. He speaks to us only in our minds, Never in person.
Yes.
You all, and I'm gonna start like flipping through the pages of my book. You all had that vision at the bone yard. You spoke to you saw some leader in your mind. Ileana's notes were not very clear. Is this the same situation?
Talon did not see. He does not know.
Who did you see?
It was Goal and was it Father T as well?
Adamar Jury from Injarta. This is what I have written down.
Is
So-
this Adamar?
To clarify, well, I suppose some of you have some idea who Adam Arzuri is, without getting too specific here. He is definitely, you know what? I'm not going to say anymore. Yes, you did see Adam Arzuri. I'm treading on some thin ice there. So yes, but that is who you saw, Adam Arzuri, and he appeared to be in some way connected with this skull in the bone lands that you then later saw Kali Yulanen doing something with. There you go.
For the third time today, I've had my opinion changed. I don't like any of this.
What do you mean?
I mean, wherever the cities are involved, there's very little that we can presume is being done for good causes.
But
If an Archmage has, for some reason, found an interest in this egg falling into the hands of this clan, then
Oh, okay. Well, I will say at least this much you know. Adam Arzuri is not the current leader of Inzarta, but it seems like he might be the true heir to it. There's some confusion in Inzarta currently because their leader was just assassinated.
right, but Kobold has said that an Archmage specifically was in communication with him,
Right.
and I do not like that.
Yes. That's fair.
well, what do we do?
There are no good options.
There is kill the raiders, kill the riders. Stay with us. We could be your allies.
We have killed some of you too, so that is probably not the best idea.
I'm sorry to tell you.
A bit upset about that.
Sorry.
I'm sorry to tell you, but I fear this entire clan may be the puppet of some far greater power.
Puppet.
Puppet.
Perhaps you see us as puppets, but we were gifted with the thing that we want most. He looks to the egg again. With that, we are willing to do whatever it is that must be done. We were at war with the Dragon Tooth Raiders before this anyway. If we're allowed to exact our revenge, all the better.
Talon does not care which kobold is killing kobold. Which side calls itself good. Neither side is good. Talon knows this. You all know this as well. All Talon cares is that we find Kali. We have the damn egg. We do what we want.
Look, you all do not want the riders to succeed in their plans to attack one of these cities, right? You're all in favor of all of the cities staying aloft? Well,
Wouldn't put it like that, but in general, yes.
well, if we destroy or we take this egg to the riders, then they win. And it will be easier for them to destroy the city and move on to destroying more powerful things and taking them over. What I'm saying is that this egg for them, if it is as powerful as they say, will even the odds of it.
But if we leave this egg here, we're playing into this Archmage's scheme. Which
Good. Perhaps he can owe us a favor, or talk to us, clarify some things.
the politics of the cities are extremely dangerous to everyone involved. Even down here, you're not safe. The impact that I fear this may have scares me.
I agree. So, I believe we should wash our hands of this entirely and just leave without disturbing the natural order of things.
The natural order of things was destroyed long ago.
Well, then, the unnatural has become the natural.
Much to our misfortune.
So we have come all this way, killed those kobolds, fallen down the rope, found the egg. I like put my axe on my shoulder. You mean to tell me for nothing? Now you want to tell us to leave, go back empty-handed.
No, we have not come here for nothing. We have gained knowledge and power. And look, and I'm going to pull out the purple orb that the kobolds are controlling. This looks egg-like to me. It can buy us enough time for if they are to find out or examine it too closely, we could escape.
They are kobold. They will know quickly. We'd be best to not go back at all without the egg.
Then why should we? You people argue about how you do not like the riders.
Talum said this first thing. Talum said we should leave, not stay with the riders, be on our own in the wild. Talum has survived a long time that way. He can survive more.
None of these factions should control such a power as this egg presents.
Oh, by the way, we had pasta and rotisserie chicken.
It's not just the power, it's the process behind it. Perhaps they could do it again. Or somebody else could if they were to learn such a spell or procedure. I feel it is none of our business. We are not allied with any of these people. We should not sway. It is if we are not here at all. If we just leave this be and move on, it's like nothing ever happened.
But we are here, and we have the opportunity to change the course of things for the better.
Does the egg look trapped? Can I see any like visible things on it right now?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
1.
You don't see much of anything, but You don't feel very confident about that. There's definitely like a device underneath some of the cushions. So
Okay.
the kobold just kind of like looks from one of you to another. So what'll it be? I could give you the egg, but I beg you not to give it to the raiders. I would be too powerful with it.
Talon is tempted to destroy it. Let no one have it. It's such a foul beast. Kind of like spin the axe a little bit on my shoulder, kind of gripping it.
Or although, if they did it once before, with enough time, they could do it again.
Just to metagame this, what are you guys actually thinking? Like, what do you guys think you want to do? Like, because I have no idea. I'm pretty.
I want to either destroy the egg or take the egg and not give it to anyone who wants it.
I want to leave it in exchange for the information on how they create such life magically, and then also possibly try to talk to whoever this archmage is.
I was also very tempted to leave it and exchange it for the magical information until he mentioned he was working with an archmage.
The only reason I am not bludgeoning this thing in right now is because if the volcano does erupt and Callie's down there somewhere, she'll probably die. And any chance of getting hurt would be
Look, we've seen this dude make explosives before. Would not doubt the fact he's got explosives and stuff like that to make volcanoes go off. I think we should just take his word on that one and negotiate around it.
Caleb does not care. The choice is yours. And then I walk and like wait by the stairs. Just kind of just relax.
There is also like an exit to like the outside here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So he
So much easier.
Well, that being said, Talon walks towards the door that goes back into the mountain.
Mhm.
He's got to move Callie. In fact, Talum is going to walk out and say, "You know where Talum is going. When you've made up your mind, you're welcome to come with
No, I don't. Where are you going?
into the Underdark." And I'm going to head down the stairs.
I'll start towards him.
this kobold's like looking around like confused as fuck as to what just happened. And he says, what's going on?
They are leaving. They're looking for a woman who goes by the name of Kelly. Do you know where that is? Where that would be?
You see, he kind of like perks up the name Callie. And says, what type of woman is she? Magical?
Telum. He's asking about your female friend.
I hear him.
Yep.
I come back to where I can see him. Does he know where she is?
Well, is she magical? Answer that first.
Elum thinks that she is not magical. She is a drow woman.
Oh, it is a different Callie then.
Yes, we have already had that confusion earlier today.
Have you had much contact with magical Callie?
Some, yes.
Magic Callie.
She is the one who works with the Archmage. The one receiving the shipments, this crash landings.
Is that Kelly here?
Here, no, but she's close. She's always coming and going, asking us progress questions, wanting to know what we're doing.
Terminology question.
Yeah.
There are like 12 archmages, right? Or like 11. There's
So
basically one for every city.
archmage is not a very deliberate term. You wouldn't really hear it used in the cities. You would call like a member of the council, like a member of the magocracy, maybe, or like a lord or lady. Archmage could be someone on the council for sure. Like they would qualify as archmages, but there are also archmages that are not on the council.
So what like defines an archmage?
Yeah, it's not like a well-defined term. It's just like
Okay.
very powerful magic user.
Okay.
Like you would only classify the best wizards, the best magic users as archmages.
Who are likely a part of the council, but not necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Maybe like 50% of the archmages are on the council. Who knows?
Okay. Okay, well, it's possible I may have misjudged the situation. Perhaps we leave the egg, trade it for this magical knowledge, hope that it has no great ramifications. It still scares me, though.
Yes.
Archmage is
I
not a
agree.
word to be thrown around loosely.
So, I believe we have a deal.
Okay.
Tell me of this spell, and we will leave you.
There is a certain type of rock here in the mountain. It can be used as a casing, a holding spot for what eventually will be the egg. With this, you can create a mold and build the egg from inside. It involved what I can only describe as a magical. He like seems like at a loss and says, "Fetus."
How does one get one of those?
The Archmage, he helped us. He got it from a place he called the infirmary. I don't know this word.
Can I see if I would recognize any place known as...
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check.
$20. No, oh wait, 19.
19. You aren't familiar with the specific place he's talking about, but definitely you know what an infirmary is. I mean, it's like where you have, babies. So you think that it's probably some reference to that. You know that some of the cities have like ancient portions of them, like underneath and inside like the city itself, like the floating mass that is the city. And you're aware that in there are like old experimental laboratories from the Third Age. If you had to guess, you would say that something like this would have been recovered from one of them.
Okay.
We will leave. Wait, so is there a spell involved too?
Yes.
And what is that?
He like looks through his things and he pulls out a scroll. It's got these like scrawlings on it, these different magical symbols and things.
I'm gonna reach out for it, like mesmerized by its beauty.
I reach out for it at the same time.
I-
Oh,
He he like just hands it over to you,
To me?
to the two of you. Like he just holds it out.
I thought that I was.
perhaps we could both examine it closer.
Yes. I'm gonna hold
perhaps
the
you should-
left side of the paper.
Hang on.
I
Are we
should-
gonna unfurl it right now and look, or
no, I'll take it and I'll
you
create
hold on
a
to
copy.
it, keep it safe.
I'll copy it for you to look at. Or will
Well,
you
I
look
would
at-
prefer to look at the original, but
Okay, well then I will put this. Okay.
let's just hang on to it for now. We'll figure it out later.
I'll put it in the bag of holding. Does this thing have like a title or like what would scroll? Of...
It's an arcane spell scroll, detailing what appears to be an ancient ritual. I would say, as far as what you call it, probably some sort of chimera infusion. Maybe chimeric infusion.
Perfect. Okay, interesting. Could you perhaps point me to one of these stone items, the casings as well?
Yes. I suppose I could. And he like wanders into this like same room that you're in, and you see he like lifts up two halves of like a mold that you seem to have like clicked together, and then you see that it has like this hole in the top where I guess something was like added to it.
Yeah, could I? Yeah.
Sure. He looks like he's like not in a position to really argue, so I just give it to you.
I believe that is our deal, correct?
Yes. You leave the egg.
One other thing, if you see Kelly, tell her that we are looking to speak to her. She knows who we are.
Okay.
I believe we are all settled then.
settled in action, but not in mind. And I walk away.
So there's an exit out into the world. I
Yes.
presume we all want to go that way, considering.
I follow whichever way Talum went.
Talum does not appear to want to go that way.
Telum, he said that your friend is not here.
I went down into the mountain. Do you like?
Oh, he's in the mountain. Never mind.
All right. Well, as
I mean,
you
I probably didn't go
descend-
super far. Yeah.
As you descend to catch up to Talum, who is descending back into this mountain on seemingly on a hell-bent quest to recover Callie, we will pick up there next time.
Crazy bastard.
Groovy.
I'll walk
Mystery
away with one
deepens.
victory.
What'd you say, Tony?
Gotta walk away with at least one victory.
All right, dudes. I'm gonna go
Which
crash and burn.
particular part is the victory?
Getting the female, not like this weird, like gray. Do we want the info or the egg?
The answer is
girl.
both.
Yeah, the answer is we got both.
We'll probably
so-
get there, and she'll be like, "I want to be here. I want to be tortured. What are you doing?" I'll be like, "Son of a bitch." Yeah. She
Okay.
might. She might.
All right. Later, guys. That was
All right.
fun.
CD.
See
Are
you
we still holding at level 3?
Oh yeah, good. That's an excellent question.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Ah,
That's fine.
All right. Cool.
I don't care.
Totally forgot about Proteus this whole game, but
True.
he's been there though. He's been there
Just
by my
running
side.
around the dungeon by himself. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah,
Dang.
later, guys.
Good game.
Bye.